Abraha hated the Kaaba because it had become the most sacred place in Arabia, and people from all over used to visit Mecca to worship. This brought a lot of money to the people of Mecca, which made Abraha angry. He didn't understand why a place with no king or government had become so important. To stop people from visiting the Kaaba, he built a grand church in his capital city, Sana'a, in Yemen. He hoped that people would start coming to his church instead, but the plan failed. Abraha wasn't born into a royal family. He was born in a small town in the Roman Empire and was a slave working for a businessman. Yemen and Abyssinia, Ethiopia, had been at war for a long time, with Yemen controlled by Jews and Abyssinia by Christians. The Roman Empire, worried about the conflict, helped the Christians by sending an army led by Abraha. He defeated the Jews and became a powerful ruler, eventually separating Yemen from the control of Abyssinia. However, when Abraha's army turned on him, he became the ruler of all Arabia. Despite his power, Abraha couldn't understand why people kept going to Mecca to worship the Kaaba. So, he built an even more beautiful church in his capital, filled with diamonds and jewels, hoping people would come to worship there. But no one came. He spent a lot of money, but his plan failed, so he decided to attack the Kaaba with an army of 60,000 soldiers. This story is not only in Islamic history but also in ancient Arabic texts. In the texts, Abraha is mentioned as a powerful king, but his goal was to destroy the Kaaba and force people to worship his church. When he reached Mecca, he demanded the return of some camels he had taken. Abdul-Muttalib, the leader of Mecca, met him and said, "You can take your camels back, but the Kaaba belongs to Allah, and no one can harm it." Abraha laughed and ordered his army to attack the Kaaba. The next day, when Abraha's army tried to attack, their elephants stopped moving. No matter how hard they tried, the elephant wouldn't budge. Then, strange birds appeared from the sky, each carrying stones in their beaks. The birds dropped the stones on Abraha's army, and the soldiers were struck with a horrible disease that caused their flesh to rot. Many of them died, and the rest ran away in fear. Abraha's army was completely defeated. This event became a turning point for the people of Mecca. The Quraysh, the tribe of Mecca, became more powerful, and the Kaaba became even more famous. After this, more and more people started coming to Mecca to visit the Kaaba. The city became richer, and a big annual fair called the Okaz Fair was held. But in that same year, something amazing happened. A child was born in Mecca, named Muhammad, who would later become the Prophet of Islam.